Live. Okay, I want this over here.
Well, we're live as Richland takes the field. Welcome to the game on YouTube, everybody. Broadcasting live on Zach the Voice. The Richland Royals just came off of an impressive come-from-behind victory against the host team, Cleburne Yellow Jackets. And now they get to turn right around and play game 2 of their doubleheader, which is game number 1 of Arlington's doubleheader. The Colts took a couple of tough ones on the chin yesterday at the home of the Boswell Pioneers, but they are back in action here today, getting ready to face a team that they are pretty familiar with, having scrimmaged against them multiple times in the last couple of years. This time it's for real, as Arlington squares off against a team from 6-5A Richland High. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the pregame show presented by Chapman Cornelius Insurance Services, Inc. I'm Zach Arnold on the call with my pops and the birthday boy-to-be, Doug Arnold. Pops, first of all, just in case we don't get to play anything because of rain tomorrow, happy birthday in advance. Secondly, thanks for taking time out of your very busy schedule to be here at Cleburne Ballpark for more tournament baseball.
Well, I'm certainly glad to be here. I appreciate the birthday wishes. Number 6-1 is on the horizon, and couldn't think of a better place to be than at the ballpark. Flayed hooky from work today, and glad to be here. We're perched high atop the stands here, and we'll broadcast Colt baseball from anywhere.
We've done it, and we're doing it now, and we'll do it again. Arlington had a really quick turnaround just because the other game went a little bit long. So we'll give you starting lineups and all that good stuff as we progress. But it is baseball time in Cleburne, Texas. Danny Bustamante will be leading things off. He's the designated hitter for Arlington in this game, number 1. He'll be followed by Mason Hensley at shortstop and Matthew Wynn at first base. Pitcher today for the Royals is number 8, Aiden Majerus. He fires in strike 1, and we are underway.
Colts sporting a different uniform today. They've got their white on white with the green pinstripe. They've had the black with the green pinstripe. Today it's the white. Looks sharp. Very clean look for the Colts today.
Ball 1 low and away. This was Arlington's home jersey a season ago.
The Richland Royals are in a kind of a throwback look to the Kansas City Royals with Royals script across their chest and a powder blue top and bottom.
Everybody loves that powder blue, that baby blue. Navy is better for our little scoreboard indicator, just so that you can see the white lettering there, but it is powder blue, baby blue, and the umpires are in their baby blues today also.
Yeah. A little bit of a breeze, bright, sunshiny day here in Cleburne, Texas.
Temperature is going to be expected to go somewhere in the ballpark of 80 today. As Majerus can't find the zone there, that one goes away. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Yeah, we're in the very back of the grandstands, just one row in front of and about 10 feet to the right of the press box. Cleburne has their own broadcast crew, and they were occupying that press box as Bustamante swings and misses for out number 1. Some very nice folks that were super helpful and accommodating, trying to get us in a place that is advantageous for how long it takes us to set up, while also maintaining the quality that everybody at home is used to.
Great view of the ball field here. Nice little park here at Cleburne High School. Home of the Yellow Jackets.
315 to the left corner, 305 to the right corner as Mason Hensley looks at ball 1, 375 to straightaway center. In the previous game, Pops, I saw a Little League home run take place out in right field at the expense of the Richland Royals. So it does have the potential to carry him as Hensley looks at ball number 2.
Yeah, it's 315 down the left field line, 305 down the right field line, 375 to dead center. And they've got this wall, and it's 350 to the alley and left and 350 to the alley and right. So it's a very oddly shaped ball field.
It's a 3-ball count to Hensley. Had a solid day at the plate in both games yesterday. And it's a 4-pitch walk to put him aboard with 1 out.
Zach had a really good time pregame as we're waiting on that transition. I was waiting on the Richland coach to get his lineup. And I went down to the Colts side of the field, down on the third base side, and I just fist bumped every player up and down as they were doing their little warm-ups, tossing back and forth. had a really good time just connecting with each of the players on this ball club.
Next man up is Matthew Wynn. The cleanup hitter will be London Prater if a double play is not turned here. We're hoping it's not. Hensley's off and running. First pitch is inside. The catcher, Chris Brown, with a one hop to the shortstop, Alderson. Defensively, Wood is at first. Boulon is at second. Wynn for them is at third. Charger Wynn. Alderson is at short. Allison is in left. Wiley's in center. And Carroll is in right defensively for the 6 and 5 Richland Royals.
Yeah, great baseball name. Charger Wynn. Love it.
Hensley's in scoring position now. Don't know why we show Richland with 1, but they do not have a run yet. We'll correct that as we hear.
I hit runs instead of balls.
Instead of ball 1, it was run 1. The little clickers are really close to each other on our little scoreboard software. This one's in play to third, and both players are out of position. It's going to be a single for Matthew Wynn, and they're going to hold up Hensley at third. A ball, a stolen base, and a base hit puts runners on the corners for London Prater. The third baseman, Wynn, moved towards the ball, probably might have had a play on it, but he decided to cover the base and let the left fielder, Allison, cover it instead.
Good start for the Colts here with only 1 out in the inning.
It was an abbreviated pregame show, but it is presented by our friends at Chapman Cornelius Insurance Services, Inc., a family-owned business with a team of professionals who have served the Arlington area for over 50 years. Don't let insurance be a headache. Call Chapman Cornelius today at 817-265-3346. Runner goes, and now they're going to have Wynn caught in a rundown. Pitcher to second base, and he is out stealing. Didn't maintain the rundown long enough for Hensley to try to come home, and there's 2 away now for Prater. It was a good recovery by the pitcher, Majerus. Didn't complete his follow-through home, so he had the opportunity to make a move towards second base. Tag is applied by the second baseman, Boulon, and a strike is delivered to Prater.
Coach Womack walking with Wynn back to the dugout, using that as a teachable moment early in the ball season here. I say early, we start district play next week.
Prater puts this one in play. One hop to third. Throw across is in time, and Mason Hensley is left stranded. So Arlington puts runners on the corners, but the 5-3 will end the top half of the inning. To the bottom of the first we go. It's Arlington nothing. Richland coming up to the plate. Pops, let's say hello to our friends that we usually say during pregame during this transition as we get caught up on high school baseball on Zap, presented by John Wade Roofing, Arlington's favorite roofer since 1982. John Wade Roofing is celebrating 40 years serving the Arlington area. John Sr. played for Colt football and was the team MVP in '76. He went on to play for TCU, earning all conference honors. The family has a Colt legacy that spans generations and wants to help your family's roofing needs, plus gutters, painting, solar, and more. For more information, go to johnwaderoofing.com.
If you're a small business owner looking for reliable insurance coverage, or perhaps just navigating the complexities of Medicare, look no further. Chapman Cornelius Insurance Services is a family-owned, independent agency with over 50 years of experience, specializing in tailored insurance solutions for small businesses and their owners. Whether you need property, liability, commercial auto, or even life and health insurance, their agents can help you feel secure in selecting the insurance you need. Call April Chapman or Jason Ott today at 817-265-3346.
To the bottom of the first inning we go. Arlington had a couple of base runners and left them stranded. We'll see if their defense can strand the Richland Royals with a season record of 6-5, fresh off of a 6-5 win against the host Cleburne. Arlington will be a little more fresh. We'll see if that plays to their advantage. Defensively for Arlington, Matthew Wynn's at first base, Hayden White's at second. Colin Murphy gets the start at third base. He'll be DH'd for in this ballgame. Mason Hensley gets the start in short, as he usually does. Yadier Gomez playing in left field. Gannon Howard gets the start in center, and London Prater will be the right fielder. The battery behind the plate, the district defensive player of the year, Jeremiah Taylor. And on the mound, a young man who went 6 strong in his last outing en route to a 4-1 win. It's number 20, Abe Alvarado. Leading off and playing shortstop for Richland, number 23, Carter Alderson. Batting second at third base, number 2, Charger Wynn. Batting third at first base, number 21, Riley Wood. Catcher, number 16, Chris Brown, bats cleanup, followed by center fielder, number 1, Max Wiley. Batting sixth and playing second base, Kobe Boulam. Batting seventh in left field, LJ Allison. Batting eighth and pitching, Aiden Majerus. And rounding out the order is the right fielder, Cooper Carroll. The Royals are on a little 3-game win streak, after winning both of their games yesterday here in the Drew Medford tournament, beating Keller Central 6-4 and Fossil Ridge 8-1. It's a team that Arlington scrimmaged during the preseason, so these two teams are very familiar with one another. Coach Steve Foster and Coach Brian Womack familiar with one another, as Abe Alvarado starts the bottom of the first with a strike to Alderson. Cannot quite find the zone there. It'll bring it to 1-1.
Abe's been a very consistent pitcher for the Colts in the first these pregame games.
Strike 2 issued here. He's definitely making a name for himself as a district starter. Danny Bustamante threw 4 perfect innings in yesterday's game, making a potential name for his candidacy. London Prater has been battling. We saw him battle in the game against Lake Belton yesterday. So Arlington has a few options for that starting mound position. Alvarado's off-speed pitch is too far inside, and the count runs full to the leadoff hitter. Alderson, the shortstop, payoff pitch. Called strike 3. Alvarado got him looking. It's a backwards K to start the bottom of the first.
Good recovery there by Alvarado as the batter worked the count full. Carter Alderson did a good job battling him, but Abe came out on top on that one.
That'll take us to Charger Wynn, the third baseman. And he'll take a look at strike 1 on that left-hand batter's box side of the strike zone. The 0-1 from Abe, swing and a miss for strike 2.
This is something we saw with Bustamante last night on the mound, consistently working ahead in the count. Abe on top here to both of these batters.
The 0-2 delivery. Called strike 3. Got him on the corner. Back-to-back backwards Ks for Alvarado, and it doesn't start better than that. So it'll be up to Riley Wood to try to find his way aboard as the righty Alvarado deals, and he gets strike number 1 on the corner. 21 Wood. Not happy with that call, but there seems to be a fairly wide strike zone from this umpire today.
I was just thinking that we're in a really good vantage point today to see the balls and strikes.
And that one's going to be sharply hit past the diving Matthew Wynn for a base hit to right.
Right in the gap between White and Wynn on that right side. That ball finds its way out to London Prater in right field.
Bring us to the cleanup hitter, catcher number 16, Chris Brown. Matthew Wynn will cover Wood over at first base. Alvarado pitching out of the stretch now. And this one will get fouled off of the wrists. Matthew Wynn takes a look at it in that no man's land. Actually, Hayden White, who recovers it. Funny story about Hayden White. You were talking about fist bumping the players during pregame. I went to get coach's lineups, and White was standing there next to me. He actually listens to our broadcasts, and he mentioned how much he likes queso on his cheese enchiladas. We talk about the players' favorite foods here on the broadcast, among other fun facts. And
he must know what my birthday dinner request was. That's right up my alley.
Yeah, we're going to try to get something special going after the ball game tomorrow, as long as weather permits us to play, as this one will get fouled out of play towards the parking lot, hopefully not towards my vehicle.
Yeah, parking accommodations are very close to the ball field. As we were walking in, we saw a foul ball plunk a big black truck right outside the gate here.
Didn't set off the alarm, though, which I was surprised by. All in 2 strikes, 2 outs. Curve ball. Comes in and catches it. It's another backwards K. All 3 outs are backwards Ks for Abe Alvarado, and the inning is over. A man gets aboard, but he's left stranded as we head to the second. This is high school baseball on Zap, presented by John Wade Roofing. We'll be right back. Taqueria Taco Express is now the official taqueria of Zach Arnold Productions. They feature 3 convenient locations, including 2 in Arlington and the original site on the Grand Prairie border at I-20 in Great Southwest. Their Taco Tuesday special includes 5 tacos and an agua fresca for just $10. Made from scratch with authentic recipes, you can place single or bulk orders online by going to taqueriatacoexpress.com.
If you're like me and need printed materials to get your brand out there to the community, then you need Eka Signs. Conveniently located in central Arlington, Eka features a wide selection of shirts, hats, banners, yard signs, acrylics, magnets for your car, magnets for your fridge, tumblers, A-frames, and more. Call Eka at 817-617-2229 for more information and tell them Zap sent you.
Hey, this is John Wade Jr., Colt Football 97, class of 98. And the next time you have a roofing issue, be sure and call Arlington's favorite roofer, John Wade Roofing. Look us up on the internet at johnwaderoofing.com.
Abe Alvarado struck out the side looking, and he'll be leading things off here in the top of the second, trying to help his own cause. Zach Arnold, my pops Doug, on the call for both games of this Arlington doubleheader here at the home of the Yellow Jackets. We don't play Cleburne, but we do get to play on their turf, and we are grateful for Cleburne ISD's hospitality, giving us a good vantage point for the camera, giving us a good vantage point to see the game. We're not along the baselines. We're actually up in the stands, so we can see the entire field from up here, Pops.
Abe Alvarado steps in to maybe help his own cause here, and he takes the first pitch from Majerus for called strike 1. Leading off, gets this lofted to center field, drifting towards the alley, but good running catch there by Max Wiley. As drifting to his right and towards the wall, he's able to catch that one over the shoulder for a long F8. The wind seems to be blowing away from home plate today,
which is a good jet stream opportunity for those who have the bat, and Arlington has quite a few of those.
Next up to bat, Jeremiah Taylor, the catcher. Hayden White is on deck. 1 out here in the inning. First pitch, bunted right out to the pitcher. Majerus picks it up, throws it to first, and it's an easy out as the ball was pushed a little bit too hard back towards Majerus, and he was able to take care of White. 1-3 for the second out.
Well, that's Taylor. White is up next.
That's what I meant, Taylor.
And we saw JT and some other Arlington players try to do this yesterday, try to bunt their way aboard. There's a lot of speed in those batter boxes, and sometimes you can try to race your way out of it.
That one's hit right back to the pitcher, who tosses to Wood, and it's a very quick 1-2-3 inning for the Colt offense. 2 sets of 1-3s as we take a break. This is high school baseball presented by Zap, brought to you by John Wade Roofing.
Hey Arlington residents, if you're like me and tired of rising insurance rates, then it's time to make the switch to Chapman Cornelius Insurance Services. Since 1984, they've been your trusted local insurance experts, offering competitive quotes for all your needs. Auto, homeowners, umbrella, renters, boats, and even classic cars. Why settle for less when you can get the best? Compare coverages today and see how much you can save by visiting chapman-cornelius.com. Chapman Cornelius, your local insurance partner since 1984. Zap wants to thank the following people who helped make our tournament coverage possible. Our meal sponsors, Kristen Crocker, Nathan Gutierrez, Gloria Weber, the Madden family, the Hensley family, the Laney family, Bill and Betsy Starnes, and Armando Dercol. And our lodging sponsors, Holly Hensley Life Insurance, the PDA Advocacy Group, Lynn Wynn, Jake and Sharon Damon, the Hammond family, Patty Bustamante, and Bella and Sam Howard. A special thanks to my wife Edna, whose constant support makes all of this possible. If you appreciate our tournament coverage, please consider sending a Venmo tip to the username @ZachTheVoice and list the name of the broadcaster you want to tip in the memo.
Welcome back to the campus of Cleburne High School for the Colts' third game in the Drew Medford Memorial Tournament, taking on the Richland Royals in this ball game. 0-0 here, heading into the bottom of the second inning. The Royals will be sending their 5, 6, 7 hole hitters to the plate. Max Wiley, the center fielder, will lead off. Kobe Ulam, the second baseman, will be on deck. L.J. Allison, the left fielder, will be in the hole to begin. Abe Alvarado on for his second full inning of work for the Colts, as Jeremiah Taylor throws the practice throw from home plate down to second base. We're ready to start this second half of the second inning. The Royals are the designated home team here for this ball game.
Yeah, it's always a coin flip. You never know who's home until the teams take the field for these tournament games.
First pitch from Abe Alvarado swung on and missed by Max Wiley. He was taking a big cut there.
That was a home run cut into the jet stream there.
He is a left-handed batter there, so he was headed for that left field fence. That next delivery catches that outside corner for strike two
And
very quickly.
that's something that Abe has been doing well in this early part of the ball game, getting ahead of the count by attacking the strike zone.
0-2 delivery, a little bit in the AstroTurf dirt for ball number one.
Looked like possibly a slider that he let go of too late. That one bounced about 5 feet in front of the plate before it went to the glove of Jeremiah Taylor.
1-2 delivery, swung on and chopped down the left field side past the third base coach.
And see, that's the thing, is now Richland knows how wide the strike zone is and knows that would have been a called strike three, and he just has to swing at it to try to keep the at-bat alive.
Learning how to protect the plate here to adjust to the umpire strike zone. The 1-2 delivery swung on and missed at the plate for a swinging strikeout.
Wow.
That's the fourth strikeout for Alvarado in this young ball game.
4 Ks in 5 batters faced. That's impressive.
That'll bring up Kobe Ulam. Hope we're saying that right. If there's a Richland fan listening in, tell us on the chat how to phonetically say his name.
These might be his parents sitting here in front of us. Looks like they're trying to go take some film.
First pitch from Alvarado is a called strike one. If you're watching today's ball game from work, share that link to the broadcast. This one's lifted to right field. Prater on his horse going towards the fence, over his head and off the wall. Ulam is streaming around first base, slides into second as Prater's able to finally get the ball back in there. But that ball just got up in that jet stream, and the flag out there by Prater is blowing straight away over that fence, and it just got caught up in that jet stream, and it just kept going.
He turned a fly out into a double, and that's just something that teams are going to have to be aware of for the weather conditions here today.
So still one out in the inning, and now a runner at second base in scoring position for L.J. Allison, today's left fielder for the Richland Royals. Mason Hensley out there in shortstop position, trying to keep the runner Ulam close to the bag. First pitch to Allison is a call ball one.
And this will be an interesting test for Colin Murphy over at third base. This is his first start in the hot corner, and we'll see if he's able to play that defensive position with this man possibly trying to advance that direction.
Alvarado comes set and takes a look at Ulam. Comes home. That ball catches the outside corner for strike one. 1 ball, 1 strike to the batter Allison, with a runner at second and 1 out.
Yeah, we've got a decent showing tuning in on YouTube from what I can tell, but nobody's in the chat yet. Subscribe to the channel, and once you're subscribed for 10 minutes, you can join the chat and tell us where you're tuning in from.
That ball is chopped right to the coach in the third base dugout. Actually, one of the fielders from Arlington's third base dugout fields that ball. And that runs the count to 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Yeah, Arlington will most likely occupy that third base dugout for both games. Richland was in the first base dugout for their first game. They occupy it again today. They will vacate it for Lake Ridge, and then the Eagles will play in that dugout twice as Arlington vacates for the host Cleburne.
Next pitch is, again, chopped down that third base line. They're getting ahead, a little bit behind on their swing, and pushing it down the third base line. Count will remain 1-2 strikes for Allison.
JT's dad, Marcus, is in the chat. He says, I'm here. Haven't gotten my pregame fist bump yet, sir.
Yeah, we're looking around. I don't see you.
Or maybe he
but
just
I
says,
trust you're here.
Maybe he just says, I'm here in the chat.
Ah, that may be it. Always like to see Mr. Taylor and his better half sitting on the sidelines. Again, this left-handed batter is behind on the pitches and pushing them down the left field line.
Yeah, but crank up the Bee Gees because Allison is staying alive.
You know what? He's a right-handed batter. He's just, as he's hitting the ball, he's dancing across the plate.
Wonder if that's a balance thing on his follow-through.
Nevertheless, 1-2 again to the batter, Allison. Alvarado takes a look at second. White's the one leading in. This one he gets a hold up, pushes it to the right side. Instead of pulling it, he pushed it that time.
Solid battle here. It's just a matter of placement of the pitch and how well Allison can square up on it.
Yeah, he's making good contact.
He's seeing the ball. Here in the chat, he clarifies. Well,
there we go.
It's a virtual fist bump there.
There you go. Alvarado, the 1-2 pitch home, curveball, chopped out to the young man Murphy, who throws it across to win, and it acts like a sacrifice.
More or less.
As Boulam is pushed over to third base on the play.
Good cover there by Hensley as Murphy made the throw to win for the 5-3 putout. Hensley came over to cover third base just in case it made it in time to win, and he wanted to try to get the runner, but now there's a man 90 feet away, but there are 2 outs.
That'll bring up the pitcher, Majerus, facing his pitching counterpart, and the first pitch is a called strike 1. Boulam at third with 2 outs in the inning. Like to see him stay there. Next pitch is right back to Alvarado, who snags it, runs a few steps over towards Wynn, tosses it underhand, and that is the 3rd out of the inning.
So both teams have made it as far as third base, but have not made it home. We're through 2 complete and scoreless here at Cleburne High School. Fans, the 3rd inning of each ball game is presented by our friends at Eka Signs. Located in the heart of Arlington, they offer same-day production on certain rush orders and have a wide catalog of custom print materials. Call 817-617-2229 to find out more. We'll be right back.
Taquería Taco Express es la taquería oficial de Zach Arnold Productions. Extraordinaria y auténtica comida mexicana. Aquí encontrarás el mejor menú para el paladar más exigente. Puedes visitarlos en una de sus 3 sucursales ubicadas en Arlington y en Green Prairie. No te pierdas de su grandioso especial todos los martes, Taco Tuesday, de 5 tacos y un agua fresca por solo $10. Para encontrarnos o hacer un pedido, visítalos a su página web taqueriatacoexpress.com. Pools in Texas need servicing all year long. At Rami Pools, LLC, we provide quality pool services such as cleaning, maintenance, and repairs. So call 469-951-0107 for a free estimate and ask for Roberto. Rami Pools, LLC. We're going to make you fall in love with your pool again. Hablamos español.
Welcome to the 3rd inning here at the home of the Yellow Jackets. It'll be the 8-9-1 part of the Arlington lineup here. Gannon Howard leading things off, playing center field. Yadier Gamez, the 9-hole hitter. And then in the hole will be the top of the order in the designated hitter, Danny Bustamante. Thank you to everyone who is allowing us to be a part of your Friday workday as this one's put in play by Howard to the gap. It's going to be a tough throw across the diamond for the shortstop, and Gannon Howard's going to leg out the infield single. Alderson was able to field it in shallow left field on the backhand, but the throw was not in time, and that'll be a clean base hit to lead things off for Gannon Howard.
Speedy Howard able to get down the line quickly and make a great play for that one. in order to set the Colts up in good situation here at the beginning of the top of the third.
Now we'll see if Yadier Gamez is going to try to bunt this young man over. It's the 9-spot hitter, top of the order on deck. Third baseman Charger Wynn ready to charge the baseline. Runner goes, and the pump fake from the catcher is going to make the throw late, and it's a clean steal for Gannon Howard. Mom was producing last night. She is one of the supporters in the chat now. I don't know if I should spoil this for you, Pops, but they are out present shopping.
I like surprises.
Bunt is squared up for and fouled into the netting. It's 1 ball and 1 strike to Gamez. It's an interesting situation now as Gamez is a lefty hitter, definitely going to try to send it up the third baseline to move Wynn up.
And there's a big hole on that left side, if you can see on the video stream, with the shortstop, Alderson, holding the runner.
Speaking of having to dive back, and Howard is back in plenty of time. No opportunity to dirty up your jersey when it's all AstroTurf.
Yeah, it kind of takes something away from the love of the game.
You might get a few pieces of shredded tire pellet in your underpants, but that's about it. Bunt is squared up for and pulled back as Gamez looks at ball number 2. An interesting approach as the first baseman Wood came charging up to see if he could pick it up and maybe make the throw. That would mean the second baseman Boolem would have to shade over to first while the third baseman Wynn stays put. The 2-1. Gamez takes a look at strike 2, and all of this is a moot point now. Two-two. Outside, Gamez has worked the count full with Danny Bustamante taking cuts in the on-deck circle. Three balls, 2 strikes, nobody out here in the top of the third inning. Payoff pitch. Too far inside, and Gamez draws a hard-fought walk to put 2 on and nobody out here in the third inning.
Colts had runners on the bases in the first inning. They've got 2 runners on base this inning. What we're looking for now, after we watched both games last night, is some clutch hits to bring in some runs.
Something to convert, yep. They are due for that. First pitch to Busta. He does square up for the bunt. It's right back in front of the pitcher. The only play is to first, and nobody's covering, but they do get the foot in time. Second baseman Boolem was very late over to first base, but the sacrifice is laid down perfectly, and there's 2 men in scoring position. That is a 1-4 sack BU, since it was the second baseman covering.
But now we have Howard over at third and Gamez down to second. 2 runners, what we used to say in Little League, 2 ducks on the pond for Mason Hensley.
Majerus' first pitch to him. He's going to foul that one off. It was a bit inside, goes off of the wrists. That is ball 1. Actually hits the grandstands and starts making its way down the bleachers like a Plinko ball.
Yeah, that sound was kind of funny.
The 0-1. He's going to put this one in play. It's a line-out double play.
What an unfortunate play.
Wow. If that gets past the shortstop Alderson, that is a base hit and an RBI. Howard got too far away from third base, getting excited, thinking it would be a clean base hit, and instead it's going to be a L6-5 double play that ends the inning. An unfortunate series of events that'll send us to a scoreless bottom of the third. Still a lot of baseball left to play. This is High School Baseball on Zap, presented by John Wade Roofing. We'll be right back.
A-frames that bring their A game. The next time you need to get your brand out to the community, go with the printers who are in your community, Ika Signs. With everything from wall signs to banners, printed tees to hats, Ika can even do same-day rush orders on select products. Visit ikasigns.com/shop to see their full list. That's ikasigns.com/shop. Ika Signs, a partner of Zach Arnold Productions.
PDA Advocacy Group would like to remind you that autism is a wide spectrum of neurological differences and it's on the rise, now affecting 1 in 36 Americans and more cases found in males. Those with autism have trouble with social interactions, communication, and can engage in repetitive or self-harming behaviors. While the causes of autism are still being researched, we can begin to learn more by visiting nationalautismassociation.org. Back to live action, a defensive substitution for Arlington. We saw Coach Womack checking in with the home plate umpire. And then as we looked out into the defensive alignment, we noticed a new number out in right field. Number 12, Dominic Trio, checking in for London Prater. Trio, the defensive substitute for Prater. The rest of the defense seems to be in order as it is. And it'll be 9-1-2 for the Royals here for this bottom of the third. Cooper Carroll leading things off. He'll be followed by the top of the order in Carter Anderson. Alvarado back out to the mound. Number 2-0 with 4 strikeouts to his credit already. Check swing, but a called strike anyways. This one's in play to short. Backhand by White. Sets his feet. Fires. The bouncer's not in time. A little bit late on the release, and the throwing error will put the leadoff man aboard. It's an E4 to put Cooper Carroll aboard.
Tough play for Hayden on that one. He was going full out towards second base, back to the infield, caught it, had to turn, throw across his body, plant. Just didn't hit quite enough on the throw.
Top of the order in Anderson then. And he'll foul off the first pitch he sees. Anderson was caught looking in his first plate appearance. Seemed possibly resolved that that's not going to happen in this at-bat as he swings at the first pitch he sees this time. Bunt is squared up for, and he'll pull back for ball 1. Murphy charging up the third baseline to help cover. Pitch low and away to Alderson. My apologies.
Taylor tried to frame that pitch, tried to
Pull
it up.
Bring it back up. I saw that.
Umpire wouldn't have anything to do with it.
2 balls and a strike at the plate. Swinging all the way, and he'll swing this out of field of play into the netting. It'll be 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Good gamesmanship by the catcher to try and keep the umpire in the game. Keep him guessing.
Check down, they got him! Pickoff is successful! Carroll caught flat-footed, a great turnaround by Ev Alvarado, and the pickoff puts one away.
Good communication between Alvarado and Wynn on that play.
This one is to Hayden White. Chance to redeem himself. Fields it, fires, and it's out number 2. So that E4 was for nothing. Alderson is retired on a 4-3, and there's 2 up, 2 down the unconventional way. Charger win represents the final out of the inning, potentially, for Arlington's defense. First pitch is off speed and too far inside. Alvarado taps his chest, saying, "My bad." Did not quite put that where it needed to be. The 1-0 in the air and hooking foul. Matthew Wynn over at first base for Arlington tried to squeeze over and take a look at it, but it's headed for the parking lot. And every time that happens, I hold my breath, waiting for my alarm to go off. The 1-1 in play, and Hensley can't get there. He jumped as high as he could, tried to time it as best as possible, but it went about a foot over his glove for a clean base hit for Charger win.
Yeah, good little looper right into short left field, right over Hensley's head.
I love the vertical on that young man, though. He gave it his all and tried his best to get there. As you saw on the video feed, it was a valiant effort. So win covering win now.
It's a win-win situation.
Oh my gosh. Ball one, low and away to Riley
wait.
Wood.
Don't mute me.
I set that one up for you.
You did, and I took the bait.
Ball two, low and away.
Make a clip of that one and post it later.
That's what I get for bringing a dad onto the broadcast. I get dad jokes. 2-0 to Wood is now 3-0 as Alvarado keeps hitting the outside area of the zone and unable to get the call.
Some of those calls have been made.
They have.
It's been a very wide strike zone up to these 3 pitches.
Next pitch from Alvarado. He'll get the call there as he brings it back into the strike zone. Umpire clarifies that is indeed a 3-1 count as the scoreboard out in right field.
Oh, the Pops board is right.
Pops' scoreboard is correct. The 3-1. Back up in the mound. Abe Alvarado scoops, underhands it, and that's the 3rd out of the inning. A 1-3 will end whatever potential threat there was. And we are scoreless through 3, headed to the 4th inning. You're watching High School Baseball on Zap, presented by John Wade Roofing. Camera presented by John Wade Roofing. Special thanks to them helping contribute a little bit extra so that you can watch today's game. We'll be right back. John Wade Roofing has been serving the Arlington area since 1982, but the Wade legacy runs much deeper in the city of Arlington. A pioneer family that has had roots going back decades, John Wade and Company saw relatives attend the Cooper Street Arlington High campus and has had members play in Colt athletics for decades. And they're looking forward to serving this community for decades to come. Find out more at johnwaderoofing.com. Looking for the most unique gift for your student or athlete? Local Legends Figures has you covered. The custom 6-inch figures are designed with you and your legend in mind. They even immortalize yours truly with a custom, never-before-used model to create a Zach the Voice figure for my 30th birthday. Huge thanks to our friends at Local Legends Figures. See pricing and place orders at locallegendsfigures.com.
Welcome back here live to the ball field on the campus of Cleburne High School, very near the Cleburne Railroaders Stadium here.
Just a few miles apart, yeah. We passed by it on our way in.
Bringing it back to live action here. It's a 0-0 tie so far. I'm going to reset all of the score bug information and get us into the right inning here. Top of the 4th, Colts will be bringing up their 3, 4, 5 hitters to the plate. Matthew Wynn leading off. London, nope. Dominic Trio. Well, who's gonna bat? We'll have to see. London's out of the lineup. We'll see who's on deck.
He's out of the field, but maybe
first pitch to Win is a call.
No,
strike 12.
I see Trio taking cuts.
So Dominic Trio will be in the place on deck right now. And we suspect Abe Alvarado in the hole. Next pitch, outside and away, ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike to the first batter of the top of the 4th inning, Matthew Wynn. Wynn got a base hit and then was caught in a rundown in his first appearance this afternoon. Next pitch is tapped behind the plate for a foul. Count runs to 1 ball and 2 strikes on the leadoff batter. No score. If you're watching from home or work or listening from the car, tell folks about the broadcast. Pass along the link. The address is Zach the Voice and YouTube. This ball is hit to right field, but it's going to go foul into the bullpen. Count will remain 1 ball and 2 strikes. Share the broadcast information with family and friends and join us virtually on this bright, sunny afternoon here in Cleburne, Texas.
We're not in the sun, though. I invested in a really nice shade tent that we're using.
This pitch is swung on and hit to left field. It's going to hang up there in time for L.J. Allison to get under it and put it away for the F7, which is the first out of the inning.
It's weird. The flag is not moving at all. We had such blustery conditions an inning ago, and now it's dead quiet. And it was just a hanging fly ball when it could have been a swirling ball that went to left center if that contact had been made just one inning ago.
Dominic Trio at bat. First pitch to him is outside and away for ball one. Dominic took the place out in right field of London Prater. We'll have to check on Prater and see if he's doing well. This one's fouled straight back into the netting. Looked like it was coming right up here in the stands with us. For strike two. I'm sorry, ball one, strike one. Alvarado is on deck as he went and retrieved that foul ball. 1-1 pitch. Swung on and just nubbed out to the first baseman, who's going to flip it over to Majerus. And Trio is out.
It's a 3-1 for those of you who care about the baseball terminology. We do it anyway for our own sakes.
That's how we keep up with the players' progress through the game. We've had several 1-3s so far today. That's the first 3-1.
A lot more than you would expect in a traditional ball game.
Abe Alvarado up to bat. First pitch is a ball. Jarris comes set. The 1-0 pitch. Swung on and tapped out between pitcher and second base. It's a hard play, but the shortstop Alderson is going to make the play and retire the Colts. That's going to be a 4-3 put out for the third out of the inning.
Was that 4-3 or 6-3?
6-3 maybe. That's a 6-3. 6-3 put out ends the Colt threat. As we hit the middle of the fourth inning, we'd like to present to you the fourth inning stretch. The fourth inning stretch is presented by Taqueria Taco Express, featuring a wide, authentic menu. Taco Express can solve any Mexican food craving like I have right now. Order online to collect points for free food, or get 5 tacos and a large agua fresca on Taco Tuesdays for just $10. And with that preface, here's the Taco Express commercial. We'll be right back.
Taqueria Taco Express is now the official taqueria of Zach Arnold Productions. They feature 3 convenient locations, including 2 in Arlington and the original site on the Grand Prairie border at I-20 in Great Southwest. Their Taco Tuesday special includes 5 tacos and an agua fresca for just $10. Made from scratch with authentic recipes, you can place single or bulk orders online by going to taqueriatacoexpress.com.
If you're a small business owner looking for reliable insurance coverage, or perhaps just navigating the complexities of Medicare, look no further. Chapman Cornelius Insurance Services is a family-owned, independent agency with over 50 years of experience, specializing in tailored insurance solutions for small businesses and their owners. Whether you need property, liability, commercial auto, or even life and health insurance, their agents can help you feel secure in selecting the insurance you need. Call April Chapman or Jason Ott today at 817-265-3346.
Welcome back to action here from Cleburne High School. The third game for the Colts in the Drew Medford Memorial Tournament, taking on the Richland. Used to have a different mascot when I was in school playing Richland, but they are the Royals now. And the Royals will be coming up to bat here, bringing you their 4, 5, and 6 hitters. Chris Brown will be leading off, Max Wiley on deck, and Kobe Boulam in the hole. Still 0-0 here as Abe Alvarado takes the mound for his 4th inning of work.
Our friend Yadi Pagan in the chat says, get the mango agua fresca and barbacoa tacos on corn. The Bowie announcer tried and approved recommendation. Says the caramel churro isn't too bad either.
First pitch from Alvarado to Brown is low for ball 1. That one's outside for ball 2.
Yadi says Bowie was here at this campus a couple of weeks ago, and they didn't even have music going, let alone any kind of PA system. So the Bowie fans somehow convinced him that he needed to just call out names from the stands. And he's just sitting here in the grandstands going, now batting, Isaiah Henderson.
Somehow I can see Yachty doing that.
Which, by the way,
the great Yachty Pagan.
Henderson got a home run during Bowie's tournament yesterday. They split with 1 win and 1 loss. They are off to an 8-2 start with just a couple more games before district. Arlington and Bowie both being covered by the Zach Arnold Productions team as a dropped third strike will get away from Taylor.
And allow the runner to be safe at first. Fans, if you're unfamiliar with that particular rule, if first base is open with less than 2 outs, the runner can run to first base and the catcher has to throw him out. And that ball skittered too far away from Jeremiah Taylor for him to retrieve the ball and get the runner out at first base. So it's it's technically a strikeout, but the runner ends up at first base.
So that's 5 Ks for Alvarado, but the runner reaches. One of the more unconventional ways that a person can get on base. I read somewhere that there's 8 or 9 different ways that you can get on board, and the drop third strike is one of them.
That'll bring up Max Wiley, the center fielder for the Royals here this afternoon, with Brown at first base.
Obviously things like singles and walks and hit by pitches.
That ball straight to White, turns to Mason Hensley, turns to win. It's the 4-6-3 double play for your Colts. And that drop third strike is erased from the base.
Arlington's defense has done a really good job of eliminating base runners. Richland has gotten 1 runner as far as third base, but since then, it's been relatively quiet.
Next batter is Kobe Boulam, who got a double in his first at bat. Got as far as third base and was stranded there. We have no score in the ball game yet. A couple of runners have been stranded for each team on third base.
First 1 to 2 wins.
That ball's a little bit outside. Count runs to 1 ball and 1 strike. No, I'm sorry, 2 balls to the batter, Kobe Boulam.
Alvarado trying to go to that outside opposite corner of the strike zone. 3 times in a row, he has been unsuccessful.
3-0 pitch coming from Alvarado to Boulam. And that one's low and outside for ball 4. Boulam draws the walk.
He's reached safely twice today, probably the most successful batter of either lineup so far today.
So 2 outs in the inning, 1 runner at first base, and that'll bring up L.J. Allison, left fielder in today's ball game. Grounded out to third, his first at bat. Boulam gets a decent lead to the edge of the cut of the grass. First delivery is tapped behind the plate for strike 1.
Cleburne uses the Cincinnati Reds angled C for their branding. The ball kind of bounced right in the middle of that C in the backstop there that you can see here on Zap View.
Alvarado takes a look at Boulam at first base. Wynn holding him tight there. Already had 1 put out at first. That ball's fouled to the right side towards the Royals' first base dugout.
Good barehanded grab by Majerus on deck. It caromed off of the netting and he was able to jump and reel it in.
Alvarado ahead in the count here. No balls, 2 strikes with 2 outs in the inning. Great double play turned by White to Hensley to win. Has the 2 outs on the board. Alvarado comes set, peeks at Boulam at first, comes home. That's hit in the gap. Hensley makes a diving stop, but there's nowhere for him to go as he was stretched out completely on that play and kept the runner at second base. Kobe can't get any further than second, and we'll have to give a base hit to Allison on that one.
Yeah, that's an infield single. Went to the gap, didn't quite make it to left field, but Hensley with the good dive to minimize the damage. Next man up.
The pitcher.
We'll just get Majerus. Don't worry about the runners aboard, just get the man at the plate.
Pitcher on pitcher. Grounded out to the pitcher last time. First ball in is called strike 1.
That's a good recovery by Alvarado. Get back to throwing strikes, get back to attacking that strike zone. That's what's worked the first couple of innings and what has kept it scoreless so far.
Next pitch is a little bit outside for ball one, but you can hear the Richland dugout has come alive chanting Mud Jerris, Mud Jerris. That's part of the fun of the atmosphere of baseball here in Texas.
Wish the atmosphere was about 10 degrees cooler, but that's beside the point. I'm sure those boys in those baseball uniforms wish it was a little bit cooler too. That's some very heavy material that you wear out there in the Texas sun.
1-1 pitch coming in. Curveball hangs inside.
Yeah,
Ball
Majerus kind of sucked in his gut a little bit there.
What gut? Kid's got no gut.
If that breaks in just a few more inches, though, he gets that call. That was a lot closer than it looked.
2 balls, 1 strike to count to the pitcher Majerus for the Royals. Alvarado takes a look at Boulom at second and comes home. Swung on and fouled to the right side over the first base dugout.
And just like that, we are 1 strike away from scoring position being stranded again. Knock on wood. There's no wood to knock on, though.
Alvarado comes set. 2-2 pitch, swung on and hit up the middle. Is it far enough for Gannon? Yes, he's going to come in and make the catch to retire the side. Runners in scoring position, but nobody plated with the F8 to end the inning. Score remains 0-0 as we head to the top of the 5th. This is Texas High School Baseball on ZAP, presented by John Wade Roofing. We'll be right back.
If you're like me and need printed materials to get your brand out there to the community, then you need Eka Signs. Conveniently located in central Arlington, Eka features a wide selection of shirts, hats, banners, yard signs, acrylics, magnets for your car, magnets for your fridge, tumblers, A-frames, and more. Call Eka at 817-617-2229 for more information and tell them Zap sent you.
Why, hello there, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to hear Zach talk about things beyond the realm of sport, catch him with me, Ben Hart, on the Intergalactic Peace Coalition podcast. For nearly a decade, we've been geeking out on IPC about our favorite nerdy things. We have a back catalog of over 350 episodes diving into sci-fi and fantasy stories like no one else. Find the Intergalactic Peace Coalition at ipcpodcast.podbean.com or download via your favorite podcast app.
Before there was the voice of Colt Varsity, before there was Colt Varsity Productions, before there was Zach Arnold Productions, there was the Intergalactic Peace Coalition. I want to send a thank you and a shout out to my buddy Ben, who helped record those commercials. He's been my co-host on that show for almost 12 years. And like he said, we have a huge catalog of nerdy things to talk about. If you think I'm a nerd about baseball, I am just as much a nerd about Star Wars, Star Trek, and everything else. So try to go find that if you want to continue to support local productions. The IPC podcast. Jeremiah Taylor leading off the top of the 5th takes a look at ball number 1 to Majerus, and that'll be ball number 2.
Ben and his band came to your college graduation ceremony. We got to meet him there, and then we visited he and his family at their barbecue restaurant in Mississippi.
Mississippi-style barbecue is truly unique, and they do a great job there. Sharply hit up the third baseline, fielded cleanly. The throw across the diamond is bobbled at first base, and JT is safe. That's a fielding error, as Wynn had a great throw across the diamond. Wood had it bounce out of his glove. JT is aboard on the E3 fielding error. I have said this on the podcast. I'll say it here on this broadcast. In my opinion, Rob's Barbecue on the Side in Pascagoula, Mississippi is some of the best barbecue ribs I have ever had in my life.
I would tend to agree. They had a very good menu out there that night that we visited. It was on our way to Destin, Florida.
JT's off and running on the first pitch. It's a hit and run bunt, and White can't put it in fair territory. Yeah, Ben likes to travel for movie premieres and has been out to San Diego for Comic Cons and the like. Came into town for Star Wars Episode 8 back in 2017, and then we converged paths in Hollywood a year later to go see the other Star Wars movie. Cutoff attempt, pickoff attempt, they got him. JT got too far, and he is retired.
You know, the Hart family, you know what they do on Sundays? They go to that sleepy little church in just south of Pascagoula.
No, they don't.
Oh.
I've asked them about that before. I've made that joke, and Ben's dad just rolled his eyes at me. Too far inside here for Hayden White. Bases are clear for him now with 1 ball, 1 strike, and now 1 out. He says there isn't even a church by that name in there.
The first self-righteous
The
church.
first self-righteous church isn't even in the Pascagoula city limits.
But they have squirrels.
I'm sure they have squirrels. About a month or two ago, they had snow for the first time ever. They didn't know how to respond to that. 2-1 is 3-1, too high now. About 45 minutes away, there is a minor league baseball team that they will go and watch in Biloxi. The Biloxi Shuckers.
Got to be careful with that one.
Mm-hmm. Or they just embrace it, as strike 2 is called. Maybe they have a Parents' Day for all the players, and they introduce all the mother
Shuckers?
Yes. Payoff pitch. White sends this one into right field. Carroll camping under it, and he'll make the grab for the F9.
We're going to get shut down by the FCC.
We're gonna get in trouble if we try something like that again. 2 away here.
YouTube's going to censor us.
Oh, I labeled this video as not for kids, but the reason I do that is so that people can join the chat. If you set up a YouTube stream as it is for kids, then it eliminates the comment section so kids don't see, comments they're not supposed to see. So I have to set up the streams as not for kids so that people can join the comment section like Yachty has done, Donna Nipper has done. Mr. Marcus tuned in earlier in the comments. Ball 1 away to Gannon Howard with 2 outs. Ball 2 now.
Mom the producer. Next week be Mom the voice and the producer as we present the Colts home district opener at Haltom.
District opener at Haltom. It's a rotation of different people, so you just have to kind of keep an eye on who's going to be where, as Howard has to take a look at ball number 3 near his face.
That gave him a little shave on the chin there.
Mm-hmm. What little stubble he's got. Majerus' next pitch. Taking it all the way, 3-1.
Right down the pipe, as you would expect. Hitters count here for Howard, who we saw. He took 1 yard in the Midlothian tournament.
And he'll take this one as a free pass up to first base, ball 4. So he's reached base safely in 2 of his appearances. Yeah, Jot Holly and I will be on the call Tuesday for the home opener between Bowie and Grand Prairie. And then Haltom hosting these Arlington Colts on Tuesday.
We saw the Haltom baseball team at Boswell last night, scouting their first district opponent in the Arlington Colts. We saw Busta's masterful performance in the first 4 innings of that game last night.
Perfect through 4 innings. I don't think I've ever seen a perfect 4 innings. I've never been on the call for a perfect 4 innings before. Gomez with strike 1 as he fouls that one away. Bustamante at the top of the order in the on-deck circle. Way inside, Gomez does a little dance move inside the batter's box to get away from that. ball and a strike with Wood covering Howard at first. And away, ball 2. Ben and I like to try to travel when we have the opportunity. We're actually going back to San Diego, which was the destination of our honeymoon a couple of years ago. Gamez looks at a strike on that outside corner. There's a weird sequence because of Good Friday, where teams will play their district games on Thursdays. So we're going to be flying out Friday night on Good Friday to spend the weekend out of town. Hit and run over the head of the shortstop. Rounding second is Howard. The hit and run works to perfection. It's a single to shallow center for Yadir Gamez.
Good execution there on that hit and run, as Howard was off and running, and he's speedy as it is. And even with 2 outs here, the Colts are threatening with runners at the corners.
All it takes is a base hit. That one,
and a good man at the plate to deliver.
That one kind of looping over the head of the shortstop, Alderson, much like what happened to Hensley in the previous half inning. Clean base hit from Danny Bustamante, and he's had some clean base hits to left field. Yesterday, I think he had 4 base hits that went to left field in those 2 ball games. This one's ball 1 high. Runner is going, and now it's a rundown. The play to the plate is in time. Cannon Howard thrown out at home, and it stays scoreless through 4.5. To the bottom of the 5th we go. The rundown not executed, and we run down to the bottom of the 5th, still tied at nothing. We'll be back with more high school baseball on Zap, presented by John Wade Roofing after this.
Las albercas en Texas necesitan servicios durante todo el año. Romy Pools brinda servicios de calidad, incluyendo limpieza, mantenimiento y reparaciones. Llama al número 469-951-0107 para una consulta gratuita y pregunta por Roberto. Romy Pools, haremos que te enamores de tu alberca de nuevo.
John Wade Roofing is celebrating 40 years serving the Arlington area. John Sr. played for Colt football and was the team MVP in '76. He went on to play for TCU, earning all conference honors. The family has a Colt legacy that spans generations and wants to help your family's roofing needs, plus gutters, painting, solar, and more. For more information, go to johnwaderoofing.com. Welcome back to Cleburne High School. Zach Arnold, my pops, Doug on the call. Tomorrow is a really special day. We mentioned it at the top of the broadcast. I'll mention it again. For the 2nd year in a row, weather permitting, Pops will be on the call for his birthday. Happy birthday, Pops. Thanks for all that you do for Zach Arnold Productions, for Arlington High School, for Bowie High School, and for the Arlington ISD community.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. I have a lot of fun doing the Zach Arnold Productions, supporting the organization in any way that I can. Seen a lot of growth since 2020.
Oh yeah.
And looking
I didn't have a tent. I had a mixer that was half this size. I had a computer that died on me after a year or 2. Meanwhile, this one's a brand new one that we bought so that we could have 2 setups. Growth is definitely a good word. First pitch is fouled away by Cooper Carroll.
We got a brand new score bug, keeping up with the balls and strikes, and plate runners on the base paths. Technology.
And we have,
and the camera.
A camera where you can see what's going on. Nothing in 2 to Carroll. Reached on an E4 and then was picked off over at first base. 0-2 from Alvarado. Back out for another inning of work is away for ball 1, and he taps his chest as JT had to really slide in order to recover that one. Too low this time. Tried that slider at the knees, and it went below the knees for ball 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Next pitch. Bouncer that almost catches Carroll, and the count runs full. There was a lot of run productivity from Richland in the previous game. They had a 5-run inning that helped them push ahead of Cleburne 6-4. Cleburne got a Little League home run to make it 6-5. And then Richland took that game by that final margin. They won 8-1 against Fossil Ridge, 6-4 against Keller Central, as Abe Alvarado loses the leadoff man on the free pass. Point being, this lineup has the potential for run productivity, Pops, and for this game to be as low scoring as it is. It's fascinating to see how different baseball can be from one game to the next.
Takes us back to the top of the order.
New runner in the form of number 27, Carlos Guerrero, running for Carroll at first base. Up to Hensley. He'll play it on the second hop. They get the force, but they don't turn two. It'll just be a 6-4 fielder's choice that retires Guerrero, as Carter Alderson replaces him at first base.
FC for the fielder's choice for Alderson.
And that'll take us to Charger Wynn. Got a single to left field his last time out. Struck out in his first plate appearance.
Hensley made a good play on that sharply hit ball to short as it took a little short hop on him just as it got to him.
First pitch swinging, headed for right field. It's going to the gap. That's trouble. Here comes Alderson. He's being waved around third, and the first run of the game is going to be scored on the RBI triple by Charger Wynn. The ice is officially broken here in the bottom of the fifth, and that could end up being the difference if Arlington isn't able to do anything with the top of their order. Still just one out as Riley Wood, he got a single to right field in his first plate appearance. The Arlington defense will crash the middle of the infield as strike one is called at the plate.
Fairly medium depth backstop here on the campus of the Yellow Jackets.
JT stays in front of that one for ball one. Middle infield crashes behind the pitcher just in case it gets past him. Charger Wynn 2 for 3 on the day with an RBI, having himself a decent day at the plate as the count moves to 2-1 for Riley Wood. That one will get fouled off, and it's 2-2. That one will bounce before it reaches JT. He digs it out, and the count runs full. Abe's payoff pitch. Chopper foul up that first baseline. Arlington looking to minimize the damage that's being done here in the bottom of the fifth inning. At the rate we're going, we may have the opportunity to play the full 7. As he loses him on the base on balls, Riley Wood is aboard. Runners on the corners and 1 out.
Will we see a visit from maybe Coach Crosno?
No, but there is some activity headed to the Arlington bullpen. Axel Alvarado and a counterpart headed to do some warming up. Someone coming in for the runner. 11. I'll try to find that on the little scorecard we've got. Colin Walker. Walker now running at first base. Runners on the corners, just one out. Wynn still at third after that triple. Walker now running at first for Riley Wood. Should be the catcher, Chris Brown. Cleanup hitter in this Richland lineup. First pitch to him. Fouled straight back.
Be on the lookout for some sort of a play here. Player warming up in the bullpen seems to be number 21.
That would be Corbin Quiros.
Corners, they may try to. There it is, a throw to first, back safely. Colts have already picked off a runner at first base this game.
They have. Walker is able to dive in underneath the tag of Matthew Wynn there. And they're lucky it doesn't get past Wynn, because if it does get away from him, then that's going to score the other Wynn, who's at third. This one sharply hit, and that's an RBI to left. Past the outstretched glove, and it's 2-0. Cleanup hitter cleans up that mess at third base. Single to left and an RBI. Walker moves to second, and another runner comes in for the catcher. That's number 4, Noah Tippett. Walker at second, Tippett at first. He's still looking for a couple more outs here in this 5th inning, as he gets the man at the plate to swing and miss at strike number 1. That's number 1 center fielder Max Wiley. Grounded into a double play his last time up. Arlington would definitely appreciate having that again here, trailing 2-0. AB steps off the back of the pitcher's plate. Wiley will step out of the batter's box, and will come set again. They're going to try to pick off the runner at second, and they got really close. A laser from Jeremiah Taylor, and Walker just barely back under the tag of Mason Hensley. Aces on the scoreboard. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. How did he swing and miss at that? It got away from Jeremiah Taylor, though, and both runners will advance. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes now. I guess technically that's a passed ball. Walker to third, Tippett to second. The 1-2. Fouled out of play. It'll stay 1-2. Activity now in the Richland bullpen. That's either Majerus staying loose or possibly a new pitcher. AB the 1-2. Chopper foul. That is a new pitcher, so we'll see if we get a substitution for the 6th inning. It's been a bit of a long bottom of the 5th, with a couple of runs plated and a couple more in scoring position. Another 1-2 from AB. Check swing. Did he go around? Field umpire says no, it's ball 2. Wiley digs back into the lefty batter's box. The righty pitcher, Abe Alvarado, with his defense playing on the lip of the grass behind him. The 2-2. Slider can't control. JT is able to keep in front of it, though, as the count runs full. So fascinating, Pops. The 5th inning was where Arlington had trouble yesterday against Boswell as well. Payoff pitch now. Lofted to left field. That's a good catch. The play to the plate. JT swinging the tag. Time. That was a solid throw from Gomez. Might have had a little bit too much air. JT tried to get a hold of it and swing his arm across, but Walker comes in for the 3rd run of the ball game. Wiley will get credit for the F7 sacrifice RBI.
Yeah, it was a good catch and throw out in left field by Gomez. Had to be a perfect throw, and it was just a little bit high, and JT had a little bit too much ground to cover to make the tag.
Boolum with 1 man in scoring position now in the form of Tippett at 2nd base. 6-spot hitter, got a double and has walked in his previous 2 at-bats. That one tails away, and it's ball 2. Harder to make small talk when the game gets this intense. They had been chatting about vacation spots and favorite foods. And it's all a little harder to do when your team starts trailing like they're doing here. This one will go into the bullpen where the Richland player is warming up. That'll be strike 1 at the plate to the 2nd baseman.
Well, you start running thoughts through your head on this warm day, late in the ball game. Is Abe Alvarado just running out of gas?
It's possible.
That's why we have people
He
warming up.
had 4 strikeouts in the first couple of innings and has only had 1 since then. 3 runs have been plated by the Royals here in the bottom of the 5th inning. That one will get fouled off. It's 2-2.
You begin to wonder about 5th inning and stamina, because that 5th inning saw Boswell plate 7 runs and send 13 to the plate in the batting position last night, and most of the interactions were self-inflicted wounds.
They were.
It wasn't so much what Boswell did; it's what they took advantage of.
Well, then this has been base hits. There have been
Yes,
base
this has
hits
been legit.
and sacrifices. Another late release that bounces in front of the catcher, and the count runs full to Kobe Boolum. Three balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. AB just needs 1 more pitch. On its way. Tails away for ball 4. Boolum has reached base safely in all 3 plate appearances with 2 walks. And here comes Coach Brian Womack. Did not even get a mound visit from Coach Krosno. Looks as if he may have seen enough. Signal from Coach Womack is the sign of a pitching change, and the next time you need signs, banners, printed shirts, or other print materials, Ika Signs is the local printer to call. 817-617-2229 is the number, and tell them Zap sent you. We'll let you know who's on the mound when we come back.
Taqueria Taco Express is now the official taqueria of Zach Arnold Productions. They feature 3 convenient locations, including 2 in Arlington and the original site on the Grand Prairie border at I-20 in Great Southwest. Their Taco Tuesday special includes 5 tacos and an agua fresca for just $10. Made from scratch with authentic recipes, you can place single or bulk orders online by going to taqueriatacoexpress.com.
Pools in Texas need servicing all year long. At Romy Pools, LLC, we provide quality pool services such as cleaning, maintenance, and repairs. So call 951-0107 for a free estimate and ask for Roberto. Rami Pools LLC. We're gonna make you fall in love with your pool again. Hablamos español.
New pitcher on the mound for your Arlington Colts. It's the senior number 10, Kansas City, Kansas Community College commit, Mason Hensley, the right-handed thrower, switch-hitting batter, trying to get the elusive third out of this bottom of the 5th inning. That means there will be some defensive alignment changes. Since Hensley's coming in from short, the new shortstop will be the junior number 4, Danny Bustamante. Bustamante now at shortstop. Taking over at third base will be Matthew Wynn. He'll shift over from first base to third, which will bump Colin Murphy out of the defensive alignment. Taking over at first base with Wynn shifting to third will be number 26, Noah Cifuentes. So to recap, Cifuentes at first, Hayden White at second, Bustamante now at third, Wynn at third, Bustamante at short. Outfield should stay the same, Gomez, Howard, and Trio.
We'll see how Mason Hensley does in a relief situation here for the Colts, trying to stop the bleeding here in the bottom of the 5th inning.
Bolam walked to put 2 men aboard. LJ Allison digging into the batter's box. He'll be the first one to face this new Colt defense. Check swing. Umpire says he did not go around.
Not even going to appeal it.
And that'll be ball 1. Richland 6-5 on the season, looking for 7-5, hoping to go 4-0 to start this Drew Medford tournament. Hensley gets him to swing and miss. It'll stay close enough for JT to cover defensively, and it'll be 1-1.
Be good to see the Colts get a quick out here and get out of this inning so they can assure themselves of another bat here. If the time runs out, we could see a stoppage of play.
Next game is not scheduled until about 4 o'clock. It's just past 3 now. Up until now, the game had been going at a pretty decent pace. Wynn with a chance to get the force, and the new Colt defense gets the final out. A 5-4 fielder's choice will end the inning, but not before the ice is broken and then some. To the top of the 6th we go. It's a whole new ball game. Richland 3 and the Colts nothing. This is High School Baseball on Zap, presented by John Wade Roofing. We'll be right back after this.
Hey Arlington residents, if you're like me and tired of rising insurance rates, then it's time to make the switch to Chapman Cornelius Insurance Services. Since 1984, they've been your trusted local insurance experts, offering competitive quotes for all your needs. Auto, homeowners, umbrella, renters, boats, and even classic cars. Why settle for less when you can get the best? Compare coverages today and see how much you can save by visiting chapman-cornelius.com. Chapman Cornelius, your local insurance partner since 1984.
Taquería Taco Express es la taquería oficial de Zach Arnold Productions. Extraordinaria y auténtica comida mexicana, aquí encontrarás el mejor menú para el paladar más exigente. Puedes visitarlos en una de sus 3 sucursales ubicadas en Arlington y en Green Prairie. No te pierdas de su grandioso especial todos los martes, Taco Tuesday, de 5 tacos y un agua fresca por solo $10. Para encontrarnos o hacer un pedido, visítalos a su página web taqueriatacoexpress.com.
Welcome to the top of the 6th inning here from Cleburne, Texas. Your Colts are now down 3-0 as they're bringing up the top of the order here. Need some run production at this point. Colts will be sending up their 1-2-3 batters to start the inning off. Danny Bustamante leading off. Mason Hensley on deck. Matthew Wynn in the hole. Aiden Majerus on for his 6th inning of work here this afternoon.
Bustamante now the shortstop after that defensive switch.
First pitch is a called strike 1.
Bustamante was at the plate during the rundown at home that prevented an Arlington run from scoring. New pitcher, Mason Hensley on deck. The new third baseman, Matthew Wynn, in the hole.
Jarrett's taking his time between pitches here. The swung on and missed. Boosted down on the count 0-2.
Let's say it must have been worth the wait to get the pitch he wanted.
No balls, 2 strikes on the leadoff batter, Danny Bustamante. The delivery swung on and lofted high. Center fielder, left fielder zeroing in. It's the center fielder, Max Wiley, that circles under it and makes the catch for the highly arcing F8 for the first out of the inning.
And in this case, the wind actually helped Wiley find it and get underneath it. It's a gentle breeze right now, but the wind is still blowing. Arlington needs it to work in their favor rather than have it catch in the jet stream.
Left-handed batting Hensley up at bat now. Takes a look at ball 1 from Majerus' first delivery. Hensley now on the pitching mound after spending most of the game at the shortstop position.
Made some good plays there too.
Next delivery hits that strike zone. 1 ball, 1 strike to Mason Hensley. Walked and caught in a weird double play that was a liner to shortstop. This one's fouled in the box off of Hensley's leg. 1 ball and 2 strikes now. Matthew Wynn taking some cuts in the on-deck circle. High and gets away from the catcher Brown all the way to the backstop. Count evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
And we need that to happen again with somebody on base next time.
The 2-2 pitch from Majerus. Swung on and hit into center field. It's going to drop for a base hit right in front of Wiley. And Hensley is aboard to help his own situation.
Good cut, good placement. And the wind doesn't carry this one into the glove of Wiley. It'll drop in front of him. And there's a man aboard.
That'll bring up the new third baseman, Matthew Wynn. Just moved across the diamond from one corner to the other in some defensive alignment changes after bringing Hensley to the mound. And Mason Hensley getting a good lead and a check down over there. No courtesy tag even applied.
Well, speaking of courtesy, as the pitcher now, he has the option for a courtesy runner, but he will run for himself in this situation.
First pitch home, a little bit high in the strike zone for ball 1. Number 12 on deck in the batting circle. Instead of Trio, it's number 12.
Trio
on deck.
Trio is 12.
He is? Oh, my bad. This ball is lofted to left field. Allison on his horse. It's over his head to the fence. Here comes Mason Hensley steaming into third base, standing up. Wynn stands up double at second base.
It's a great swing by Wynn. I heard some people say, get out of here, but the wind wasn't strong enough for that. But it's a clean double to left field, and Wynn puts 2 men in scoring position, and Coach Steve Foster maybe has seen enough from Aiden Majerus. That will do it for his outing. And that signal from the coach is the sign of a pitching change. The next time you need signs, banners, printed shirts, or other print materials, Eka Signs is the local printer to call. 817-617-2229 is the number, and tell them Zap sent you. We'll let you know who the new pitcher is right after this.
Why, hello there, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to hear Zach talk about things beyond the realm of sport, catch him with me, Ben Hart, on the Intergalactic Peace Coalition podcast. New episodes drop monthly featuring news, reviews, discussions, and tangents on all our favorite franchises, including Marvel, DC, Star Trek, Star Wars, Stranger Things, Harry Potter, Jurassic Park, Dune, Godzilla, Firefly, Pixar, Doctor Who, Indiana Jones, The Last of Us, James Bond, House of the Dragon, Ghostbusters. I think you get the picture. Find the Intergalactic Peace Coalition at ipcpodcast.podbean.com or download via your favorite podcast app.
PDA Advocacy Group would like to remind you that autism is a wide spectrum of neurological differences and it's on the rise, now affecting 1 in 36 Americans and more cases found in males. Those with autism have trouble with social interactions, communication, and can engage in repetitive or self-harming behaviors. While the causes of autism are still being researched, we can begin to learn more by visiting nationalautismassociation.org. New pitcher on the mound for the Richland Royals. Coming in from right field and taking the mound is number 12, Cooper Carroll. Carroll now on the mound for the Royals. Taking over for him in right field is the current pitcher of record, Aiden Majerus. Majerus taking over in right field. So just a straight swap, and we saw Carroll taking some warm-up throws in the bullpen during their batting sequence, so he should be loose and good to go. And we have Hensley at third, Matthew Wynn at second after that double. The pitcher's spot, Abe Alvarado, will go instead to number 5, Axel Alvarado. Axel taking over in this 5 spot. On deck in JT's spot is Cifuentes. I'm very confused. Cooper Carroll's first pitch finds the zone on the outside corner for strike 1 to Axel.
You would think then that Axel's going to stay in the catching position.
Possibly. Somebody's got to be the DH, because Bustamante is now in the field. Bustamante started the game as the designated hitter for the third baseman, Murphy. But now that he's in the field and Alvarado is not in the lineup, this may be the DH in Axel.
Colts with runners in scoring position need some production here.
Axel fouls this one straight back, and it is strike number 2. Cifuentes with the recovery. Whatever that clapping noise is, it sounds like marching.
I think it's coming from the dugout.
Ball 2 low and away. Even a hit to the outfield could score Hensley from third. 2-2. Swing and a miss. Alvarado with a big cut, couldn't connect. He's down on strikes. So it'll be number 26, Noah Cifuentes, batting in the 6th spot. He'll face Cooper Carroll, coming in relief of Majerus. And that is strike number 1. 5 1/3 from Majerus without a run allowed, but he is on the hook for the 2 that are on the base paths. Cifuentes with a good cut, but it goes foul out of play. The Lake Ridge Eagles are taking up position behind that first base dugout, trying to stretch and get loose. Immediately after this ball game is game 2 of the Arlington doubleheader. It'll be a separate stream on YouTube, so be sure to subscribe to the channel as Cifuentes keeps the at-bat alive. If you subscribe to the channel, you'll get alerts for when the next game goes live. It'll be about a half an hour after the conclusion of this one. The Colts and the Lake Ridge Eagles. Pops and I will be back on the call using our al fresco tent setup here. Carroll's 0-2 home. Popped up, playable. The catcher thinks so. And it'll make contact about 4 rows deep in the grandstands. Chris Brown threw his helmet off to try to look at it. And he'll look at another 0-2 situation at the plate to Noah Cifuentes. Hensley at third, Wynn at second after that double. This one's in play, but to the shortstop. Alderson with it. A lofting throw to first.
And the inning is over. Cifuentes leaves 2 men in scoring position stranded. And we're through 6 complete, but it looks like we're going to play the 7th. Because they're going to let the bottom of the 6th take place. That gives us time to say hello to a few more of our friends, and we'll be back with a little bit more high school baseball on Zap, presented by John Wade Roofing right after this.
A-frames that bring their A game. The next time you need to get your brand out to the community, go with the printers who are in your community, Eka Signs. With everything from wall signs to banners, printed tees to hats, Eka can even do same-day rush orders on select products. Visit ekasigns.com/shop to see their full list. That's ikasigns.com/shop. Eka Signs, a partner of Zach Arnold Productions.
Mason Hensley back out for another inning of work. Jeremiah Taylor not out there. Practice catching is Angel Hernandez with just the mask on. I wonder if this is going to be Axel Alvarado coming out. Needs a little time. No, there's JT. But I would bet you that Axel catches in the next game.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's a tough. You never play the catcher with all that gear on in back-to-back games, especially in this weather.
Tough assignment for a young man to try and do 2 games like that back to back.
So he'll ride this one out. And then about a half an hour after this ball game, we'll have game 2 of the doubleheader. Game 4 of the Drew Medford. Game 5 is scheduled for 10 a.m. tomorrow against the Burleson Centennial Spartans at the home of the Aledo Bearcats. But there is a lot of inclement weather on the horizon coming in overnight. I really hope we get a spot in the press box tomorrow because it'll be a chilly one. Temperatures in the 50s with rain in the forecast.
Yeah, with that nasty weather predicted, I've just designated today my birthday.
There we go. Just in case.
Yeah.
Just in case we're not able to play ball. But you have had the good fortune of being able to be a part of baseball action for the last couple of years on your birthday weekend. That's always good fun. Right fielder, new right fielder, Majerus. Let's look at ball 1. And the new pitcher, Carroll, on deck. Ball 2 issued from Hensley. This one he'll find the corner of the zone for a called strike 1. And he puts it in the exact same place and gets the exact same call. Evens it up at 2-2. This one will get away from JT. That one goes a little bit too far outside. The count runs full.
The bottom of your TV screen at the edge of the C, you can see defensive coordinator for Arlington football team, Coach Hensley, watching his son pitch.
That'll be a base hit to right field off of the end of the bat. Just a little tapper, but Majerus reaches safely. Yeah, the camera angle really only shows Coach from the neck up. You don't even see his shoulders.
Well, that's a good thing he's got a ball cap on. We might get a glare.
I was about to say, there might be a reflection.
A little good-natured fun at our friend Colby Hensley.
Cooper Carroll, the pitcher. Reached safely in both appearances, and he will...
Attempted bunt gets away from JT. Strike called.
It'll be a called strike, but the runner Majerus will advance. So 0-1 the count. Leadoff man in scoring position. Nice curveball for strike 2.
Swing and a miss. Hensley gets the strikeout, and there's one away. Sets down his pitching counterpart.
Good movement on that curveball in that series of pitches. It's really got that working right now.
Carter Alderson, strikeout, ground out, reaching on a fielder's choice, scored one of the 3 runs in the previous inning. Check swing, ball 1. Cifuentes standing in front of first base just in case a bunt attempt is made. Try to move the runner over one more base. Bustamante trying to keep the runner close, and a time is called at the plate. Alderson got tired of waiting. Pops, what are we going to do for our scoreboard for the next game? Both teams' colors are green and black and white.
I think we'll go with green for Arlington and just black for Lake Ridge.
Maybe so. This one's hit to right field. Trio is on his horse, and it's going to go over his head to the gap. Off of the wall. They're going to wave the runner around. Throw to the plate. JT, the tag! In time! A much better relay from the Arlington outfield. It'll be a double because the runner was going the whole time. He didn't advance on the throw. Alderson's out at the plate, and it'll stay 3-0.
That play
Bregman Majerus out at the plate.
That play worked out better for the Colts in this game. Same hit in the last game led to a Little League inside the park home run.
It was almost the exact
Cleburne
same
team.
almost the exact same placement for Cleburne in the game before ours. Trio was able to play the carom better than the Richland right fielder of the previous game. Alderson will get a double. He was running the whole way. Majerus is out at home. Nothing and 1 to Charger Wynn, who got a triple to right field. Got a 2-for-3 outing on the day. Arlington defense keeping a run off the board as a bunt is squared up for with 2 outs, which is surprising, trying to catch Cifuentes off guard. But Charger will have to defend the plate now, 0-2 with 2 outs. Swing and a miss. It's dropped, so JT will make the throw to Cifuentes. Hensley gets a couple of Ks and some support from his defense and puts up another goose egg at the expense of Richland. Unfortunately, that 3-run inning is proving the distance and the difference. To the top of the 7th we go. It's rally time for your Colts. It's high school baseball on Zap, presented by John Wade Roofing. We'll be back right after this.
A-frames that bring their A game. The next time you need to get your brand out to the community, go with the printers who are in your community, Ika Signs. With everything from wall signs to banners, printed tees to hats, Ika can even do same-day rush orders on select products. Visit ikasigns.com/shop to see their full list. That's ikasigns.com/shop. Ika Signs, a partner of Zach Arnold Productions.
John Wade Roofing has been serving the Arlington area since 1982, but the Wade legacy runs much deeper in the city of Arlington. A pioneer family that has had roots going back decades, John Wade and Company saw relatives attend the Cooper Street Arlington High campus and has had members play in Colt athletics for decades, and they're looking forward to serving this community for decades to come. Find out more at johnwaderoofing.com.
Rally time for your Arlington Colts. We're lucky we get to play the full 7. We didn't get to do that. And it's not always a guarantee for teams. But we are here in the top of the 7th inning, and then we'll try to play a full 7 against Lake Ridge immediately after this. The postgame show is presented by our friends at John Wade Roofing. It'll be an abbreviated one, however this game ends up finishing. As we have a quick turnaround in these doubleheader games, got to get ready for the next one. Jeremiah Taylor leads things off for Arlington here in the top of the 7th inning.
JT reached on an E3 fielding error, but then was caught stealing and eliminated from the base paths. Cooper Carroll makes JT swing and miss at the first pitch he sees. One of our other broadcasters, part of the Zap crew, not here today, Jot Holly, joining us in the chat saying, hope you fine gents are enjoying a beautiful day for baseball. We are indeed. Hope those of you who are spending your Friday with us are enjoying this Friday day on the diamond as well, as JT looks at a curveball for ball one. We're in a good position, in a good vantage point, can see the whole field from where we're at. Sometimes we're along the baseline and can miss stuff along the corners. JT puts this one in play directly to Charger Wynn, who will throw it across to Wood for the first out. 5-3 of JT. Will take us to Hayden White. One away here in the top of the 7th inning. Tries to score up for the bunt and will pull back for ball one that goes way wide of the catcher Brown. Howard, number 2, goes out to retrieve that loose ball.
Colts have had 6 runners in scoring position this afternoon through the course of the game and just haven't been able to get that clutch hit to bring one home. There's still a goose egg on the scoreboard for the good guys.
2-0 at the plate. Three and 0 as Hayden trying to find his way aboard. I asked him during the pregame, what do you say to people who like chili sauce on their cheese enchiladas? He says, y'all are just weird. The 3-0. It's a 4-pitch walk for Hayden White. Got to start the rally somehow. We'll see how aggressive Coach Womack elects to be on the base paths with 1 out here in the 7th.
Gannon Howard up to bat now. Gannon's got some good wheels, and we're going to get a
We might see a
visit to the
change.
mound.
I believe this is Coach Foster.
Yep, he's calling for a left-handed pitcher, it looks like.
Possibly.
No, he's going to stick with him.
Just a moment of encouragement.
It looked like he stuck his left arm out and tapped his wrist, but obviously not.
Well, no sign of a pitching change yet presented by Yuka Signs, but we are really grateful for them joining us this season. They joined primarily because we're expanding to cover Bowie baseball. We'll have the district opener for both Arlington and Bowie this coming Tuesday. As Howard rips this one up the baseline, it's going to be bobbled, and the only play is going to be to first. The 3 unassisted by Wood makes it 2 outs. Tried to turn a very fancy double play and then kind of bobbled it in front of him. And the only play was to first. That'll move White in scoring position, but it'll be up to Yadir Gamez, who got a single to center field in his last at-bat to try to extend the ball game. This one's up in the air. Chris Brown will watch it go about 6 or 7 rows in front of us. You hear the crashing noise on our ambient mic. Metal grandstands that wrap all the way from dugout to dugout here. 0-1. Pitcher Carroll steps off the back of the plate. Gamez will adjust his batting gloves. As a reminder to stay tuned for the post-game show presented by John Wade Roofing. We'll have some thoughts and analysis on this ball game. Gamez in play. Wynn will watch it go fair. Wynn was trying to let it go foul, and it never did. That's a base hit up that third baseline for Gamez.
Sent Hayden White over to third, but what an unusual play.
A little bit of a mishap, and it's a 2-for-2 day for Gamez with 2 singles and a walk.
brings up the top of the order. Colts maybe trying to mount a 2-out rally here. Top of the 6th. Top of the 7th, I'm sorry.
Top of the order in Bustamante takes a look at ball 1 here. I'm going to go away from the zone for ball number 2. Pitcher Wood, first baseman Wood coming to talk to his pitcher, showing some experienced leadership to try to help Carroll compose himself. This is the beautiful thing about baseball, Pops. I don't know if Bustamante has this type of power, but one swing of the bat ties this ball game.
Mm-hmm.
The wind is died down as the outfield flag in right is drooping downward. 2-0 the count. Gomez at first, White at third. Ball 3 to Bustamante with Mason Hensley on deck, and we know that he's got a really good cut. He has hit a home run during tournament play. It happened last season, but we know that he is capable of it. There has been a mound visit already, so Carroll's on a short leash as he delivers a 3-0. He'll get that 3-1 hitter's count to Bustamante now. The middle infield is playing deep to try to prevent those sharply hit balls that have gone to either end of the base in this ball game.
It's a good-sized gap in the alley between left and center also, as the left fielder Allison's playing shaded to the line.
And that'll be ball 4. Bustamante loads them up for the Colts here in the top of the 7th. Good quality at bat. That'll bring Mason Hensley to the plate. Can the Colts make some noise here with a 2-out rally in the top of the 7th? Knock on wood.
Richland coach sticks with his pitcher, Carroll.
Hensley got a single to center field his last at-bat, and he'll look at ball 1 here. Hit into an unfortunate line-out double play, but also walked in his first plate appearance, so he's reached safely 2 out of his 3 times to the plate today. And it's too high for ball number 2. White at third, Gomez at second, Bustamante at first. A 2-0 count to Mason Hensley.
Timely hitting. It's time for some timely hitting, Colts.
Carroll's 2-0. And he'll take a look at a strike in the low and away quadrant of the zone. That's okay. He's got some strikes to work with, and that wasn't the pitch that he wanted to turn on. 2 balls and 1 strike now. That was a home run, game-leading cut that he couldn't connect on. It's 2-2. Arlington down to their last strike of the game. Cooper Carroll trying to get the save. 2-2. And Richland wanted him to get rung up, but it'll run full to Mason Hensley. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runners will be going here in the top of the 7th. Que dramatica. Pitch call comes into Carroll, and he toes the rubber. The switch hitting Hensley ready in that lefty batter's box. Payoff pitch. Fouled away, and we'll do it again. All the runners returning to their original bases. White to third, Gomez to second, Bustamante to first. At the speed that they were going, any kind of a base hit scores 2.
Gomez was really tearing up the turf.
Another payoff pitch. And that will score the first run of the ball game for Arlington. And Coach Foster has seen enough
Arlington tallies their first run in the top of the 7th, and that is a taco tally presented by our friends at Taqueria Taco Express. Visit any of their 4 locations on Taco Tuesday for their $10 meal special. And that signal from the coach is the sign of a pitching change. The next time you need signs, banners, printed shirts, or other print materials, Ecus Signs is the local printer to call. 817-617-2229. It's 3-1, and the tying run is in scoring position. We'll be right back with the finish here on Zap.
I'm going to go ahead and go with this mid-6.
Pools in Texas need servicing all year long. At Rami Pools, LLC, we provide quality pool services such as cleaning, maintenance, and repairs. So call 469-951-0107 for a free estimate and ask for Roberto. Rami Pools, LLC. We're going to make you fall in love with your pool again. Hablamos español.
If you're a small business owner looking for reliable insurance coverage, or perhaps just navigating the complexities of Medicare, look no further. Chapman Cornelius Insurance Services is a family-owned, independent agency with over 50 years of experience, specializing in tailored insurance solutions for small businesses and their owners. Whether you need property, liability, commercial auto, or even life and health insurance, their agents can help you feel secure in selecting the insurance you need. Call April Chapman or Jason Ott today at 817-265-3346.
Some defensive changes for the Royals. Taking the mound to try to get the final out is Charger Wynn, moving in from third base. Second baseman Boolum will slide over to cover for him. Not sure who the new second baseman is, unfortunately. But all that really matters for Arlington is the man at the plate. Charger Wynn versus Matthew Wynn. Another win-win situation.
We can hope. We can get our win to put some charge into the ball.
Matthew got a big hit to left field. Wasn't able to come home. Left stranded in scoring position. A bases loaded walk tallies the first run of the game, and Charger Wynn delivers a strike right over the middle. Gomez at third, Bustamante at second, Hensley at first. All of them with good speed. Base hit ties the game. That one's going to skitter away from the catcher. Here comes the runner. It's 3-2. Gomez scores on the wild pitch, and both men move another 90 feet. A big 2-out rally from Arlington here in the top of the 7th has made it a 3-2 game with Bustamante 90 feet away from tying it. It's 1-1 the count at the plate for Wynn versus Wynn. Charger delivers to Matt. And he'll foul this one out of play. And again, Arlington down to their final strike, as that one much closer, hitting the stands on this upper row just a few feet to our right. And it continues to tumble. 1 ball and 2 strikes now as they ask for a new ball. Brown hands the one from his dugout to the umpire. Wynn catches one from the Arlington third base dugout. And we're set to play again. Hensley at second, Bustamante at third. Matthew Wynn with a 1-2 against Charger Wynn. The next pitch, way too high for ball 2. Bustamante crept another 10 to 15 feet up the baseline just in case that one got away from Brown again. Donna Nipper cheering them on in the chat. Let's go Colts, she says. Deuces are wild on the scoreboard. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 men on for number 25. Number 2 on the mound. The next pitch. He's going to foul this one up in the air. Off the end. The only play is to first. And he bobbled it! It's a tie game! It should have been a 4-3, and instead it's 3-3. Arlington's come all the way back. Bustamante comes in to score on another E4.
Second one charged against the Royals today. And now Arlington is one swing of the bat from taking the lead into the bottom of the 7th. Axel Alvarado represents the game's lead run now as Arlington has tied it in the top of the 7th. Way to rally, says Donna Nipper. Couldn't agree more. Charger win. This one's sharply hit foul, looping out of the fence towards the batting cages along that third baseline. It's a ball and a strike now. Axel Alvarado digging in with runners on the corners. Hensley 90 feet away from taking the lead. This one's too low. A good dig by Chris Brown. Hensley was ready to come home if it got past him. Such a weird looping play, and whoever the new second baseman is just didn't field it cleanly, and it was a weird throw to Wood, who bobbled it at first base. It's tied. Runner goes, and they're going to let him. It's in the dirt, metaphorically, as it were. Chris Brown will eat that, and Matthew Wynn will get a stand-up free pass with a 3-1 count at the plate to Axel Alvarado. One good swing, and Arlington takes the lead. A hitter's count. Wynn comes home. And he gives him the free pass. First base was unoccupied because of the stolen base, but now it is loaded again for Noah Cifuentes. Cifuentes grounded out to short in his last at-bat. Shortstop is playing deep right now. Aces full of Colts. And that one almost hit him on the shoulder. Inches away from clipping the jersey. That would have been the worst way for Arlington to take the lead. We would have taken it. 1-0 to Cifuentes. Head high, which is tough to do to that young man. He's pretty tall. And now it's the shortstop Alderson who will call time. Very brief word of encouragement to his teammate Charger. Arlington with a 3-run rally here with 2 outs. All of their runs with the game on the line. And Cifuentes takes a look at ball number 3. Nowhere to put him. In this situation, you have to throw a strike. Do you give him the green light? I say no.
Yeah, I say you stick with tradition and
You
just
stick with
make
it.
the pitcher throw one over the plate.
And he cannot. And Arlington has walked in the lead run with 2 outs here in the top of the 7th. Hensley comes across, and it's 4-3 Arlington. A base on balls RBI for the new first baseman. And 4 runs with 2 outs has flipped this game on its head in the final inning.
The Colts have batted around as JT comes to bat here. No, not quite batted around. Yeah, they have batted around.
Yeah, I think
Taylor started off with a 5-3.
JT
out.
led things off. And he's going to get hit on the hip, and another run will plate. The HBP RBI. 5 runs, all with 2 outs. Just an incredible, resolute approach at the plate by Arlington. A refusal to give up even with 2 outs. This is quite possibly one of the best batting sequences we have seen in this young season.
And it looks like Coach Foster has seen enough from Charger Win. Gave him the opportunity to get the final out, and he could not. We'll see if he makes the change or not, as number 3, Simon Hercules, comes in to run for Jeremiah Taylor at first base. So far, a change has not been issued. He's going to stick with Charger as Arlington takes a 5-3 lead after the HBP RBI.
I believe somebody said something about mounting a 2-out rally.
For once, the announcer's jinx does not come to fruition.
Hayden White steps in here.
That is 2-4.
As Pops is drawing extra diamonds on the score sheet.
And White takes a look at strike 1 with the bases loaded. Got a base on balls earlier in this inning. That one's going to skitter away, but not far enough away from the catcher, Chris Brown. He'll recover it as the runner at third retreats. That's Axel Alvarado being coached by Coach Womack, telling him to watch for where the ball goes and what his margin is for how far away before he can go home. And strike 2 is belt high to Hayden White. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Arlington plating 5 with 2 outs here in the top of the 7th inning. Finally finding a way to bring these men home. 1-2 is too low for 2 balls and 2 strikes. From 3-0 and a lot of goose eggs on that scoreboard to a 5 spot in the 7th. What a recovery. The 2-2 pitch. Chopper to the pitcher's mound. It's in no man's land. It's going to be a tough play at first, and it won't succeed. Hayden White gets the infield RBI, and they've doubled him up with 2 outs. It's 6-3. Wow. So now Gannon Howard gets his second at-bat of the inning. Cifuentes, the runner at third. White just took up position as a belt-high strike comes in. That is Simon Hercules running for Taylor at second base. So it's Cifuentes at third, Hercules at second, White at first. The 0-1. Inside for a ball.
I'd like to see another pass ball situation here and watch Cifuentes rumble home for another run.
Like he did against Rockwall Heath.
Exactly.
One of the highlights of that series there. The 1-1. Lofted to center field. And it's a little too high and a little too long. The F8 finally ends the Arlington 2-out rally, but not before they go from down 3-0 to up 6-3. That's the way baseball go, and we're going to go to the bottom of the 7th with Arlington in front. This is High School Baseball on Zap, presented by John Wade Roofing. We'll be right back.
If you're like me and need printed materials to get your brand out there to the community, then you need Eka Signs. Conveniently located in central Arlington, Eka features a wide selection of shirts, hats, banners, yard signs, acrylics, magnets for your car, magnets for your fridge, tumblers, A-frames, and more. Call Eka at 817-617-2229 for more information and tell them Zap sent you.
Zach Arnold Productions is proud to service the greater Arlington and DFW area. With experience in broadcasting, podcasting, web series, public address, marketing, and public relations, Zap can help you tackle any modern communications task. Whether you need an announcer for your sporting event or just need help proofing a press release, be sure to call 817-319-2402 to see how you can find energetic media solutions for your task with Zach Arnold Productions. a huge 2-out rally in the top of the 7th when things looked dire. The Arlington Bats finally catch fire and played 6 runs with 2 outs to completely change the dynamic of this ball game. Richland looked like they were on their way to their 4th win in a row. And Arlington did something, Pop. Something sparked in them that said, no, sir, that's not how it's going to go down. Mason Hensley coming out looking for the win now after coming in relief trailing. Gets the run support he needs and gets the first man, Riley Wood, to swing for an 0-1. Wood got a single to right and has walked in 2 of his 3 plate appearances. And he'll take a look at strike 2 on the corner. Shakes his head in disagreement, but it's all about what the other man in the white-blue shirt says. 0-2. That one tails away for ball number 1. When we spoke to Coach Womack during the preseason, Pops, he mentioned that he's looking at Hensley as a potential closer. So this is a really good opportunity for this young man to have game-closing, game-ending experience as he delivers ball number 2. Does not mean that he's locked down the job. There's a lot of really good pitchers on this Arlington staff, but it is something to consider as we approach district play. 2-2 is chopped back to the mound. Hensley will play it on the first hop, throw it over to Cifuentes, and get the 1-3 put out.
Good defense there by the pitcher Hensley, as that took a high hop and he had to wait for it to come down and then plant and make a good throw to Cifuentes. And that's a good way to start this bottom of the inning with an out.
Chris Brown reached on a drop third strike and singled to left. And he'll chop this one into left field, and they'll have to play it on a hop. Another single to left for Chris Brown as he reaches safely in his 2 consecutive at-bats. You were mentioning Hensley's defense. He's naturally one of the key middle infielders, and he uses that to his advantage here as a pinch runner comes in. This is number 4, Noah Tippett.
I heard one of the Arlington fans say, come on, boys, roll it up. Arlington defense has already turned 2 double plays this afternoon.
This one's on a rope to right field. Charging is Howard, and they're both going to let it drop in front of them. It's another single into the shallow outfield. Miscommunication there as Howard was charging, Trillo was closer, and neither one makes the catch. And just like that, the tying run is to the plate.
Yeah, some hesitancy. It looked as though Gannon might have had the bead on that one, but I think he was deferring to Trillo. Just a little communication gap there.
Kobe Boulam reached plate in all 3 appearances. Strike 1. Nothing in 1 with 1 out. Hensley shakes his head a couple of times, doesn't like the pitch, and Boulam will call time. A glance of second and the 0-1. Bottoms out too soon. One ball, 1 strike, 1 out. 2 men aboard. Tippett, the courtesy runner at second. That one's going to get away from JT. A throw over to first. Cifuentes with the swiping tag, not in time. Just letting the center fielder Wiley know that he sees him. Didn't approve for how far away he was getting. It's ball 2 at the plate for a 2-1 count. Hensley's 2-1. Swing and a miss for strike 2. Strikeout here gives Arlington a lot more opportunities to not worry about sacrifices and the like. Glance of second in the 2-2 delivery. Right back up the middle. He's got a chance. It's a double play! And that will be the ball game. Wiley got caught stranded between first and second on the line out to the pitcher. It's an L1-3 game-ending double play for the Colts.
What a fortuitous play there. It was Richland in the last game that scored all the runs to go ahead and win the ball game in the last seconds. This game, it's Arlington.
We'll take a short break and be back for the abbreviated postgame show presented by John Wade Roofing right after this. John Wade Roofing is celebrating 40 years serving the Arlington area. John Sr. played for Colt football and was the team MVP in '76. He went on to play for TCU, earning all conference honors. The family has a Colt legacy that spans generations and wants to help your family's roofing needs, plus gutters, painting, solar, and more. For more information, go to johnwaderoofing.com. Welcome inside our broadcast tent at the very top of the stands here at Cleburne High. Everybody, Zach Arnold, my pops Doug, bringing you this Drew Medford Memorial Tournament. Game number 1 of the doubleheader goes to Arlington thanks to 6 runs plated in the top of the 7th inning with 2 outs.
All of that with 2 outs.
It was just an incredible rally by Arlington and an unfathomable collapse by the Royals, who had been playing so well up until that point. But Arlington bats around and then some with 2 outs in order to get their 4th win of the season and hopefully give them some momentum going into this game against Lake Ridge in just a few minutes.
Yeah, when they got the runners on board and got the 2 outs in that inning, I'm sitting here chanting, clutch hit, and
they got it.
And they got it, and they went on further than that, and it was just exciting to see them finally break out of that pattern. They up to that point, Arlington had 8 men in scoring position that hadn't crossed the plate. That lost opportunities throughout the course of the game, but they finally came through in the clutch.
Mason Hensley will get the win as he got all of that run support after he came in relief of Abe Alvarado. But he pitched well as well. You know, it was a few timely hits and a sacrifice fly that drove in the 3rd run. So it was small ball, and he competed well. But just the tenacity of the entire team to come back and get this win 6-3 has got to be a momentum boost for a team that had a couple of really tough games yesterday, have had a couple of tough games during tournament play. They finally find a way to get a win tallied on the record books. So fun to see. Postgame shows presented by John Wade Roofing. John Sr. played for Arlington High and was the team MVP in '76. He also played for TCU and UTA football, earning all conference and conference champion honors. After a brief stint with the Oilers in 1982, he switched to roofing and never looked back. His legacy in the community is one that will stand the test of time and has for over 40 years. The next time your family needs roofing, gutters, painting, solar, soffit repair, or anything else, call the family that can do the most for your family. 817-265-5520. Pops, any final thoughts before we call it and get ready for the next ball game?
No, we were disappointed in the outcome of the game yesterday. The players had some good individual efforts yesterday. Disappointing to drop both of those games, and we said today's a new day.
It is.
Every day at the ballpark is a new day, and I told the boys when I was fist bumping with them down the left field line before the game, I said, new game, new day, and sure enough, we come out on the top side in this first game, heading into the doubleheader here, second game against Lake Ridge Eagles. I feel good coming into this second game now. Good to get a win under your belt.
Be sure to subscribe to the channel so that you know when the next game goes live. You'll get an alert. It's a separate stream, separate game that'll be here on the Zap Network. Final score in this one, though, Arlington 6, Lake Ridge 3. Thank you so much for support. Not Lake Ridge, Richland. Lake Ridge is next.
Richland.
Arlington 6, Richland 3. Thank you so much for supporting local broadcasts and local business by tuning into today's broadcast.